What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Now, if you're watching this live, you're going to say, hey, the morning vibe is usually on 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday and Friday. So if you're looking at your watch right now, if you're watching it live, it's 12:01 p.m. Eastern Time on a Friday. But you know what? We're doing something different. We're giving some extra. We're doing bonus the morning vibe today. So why are we doing that? Why are we doing that today? Why are we doing that today? Well, let me tell you why we're doing that today. Let me just show you why we're doing that today. Here we go. Yes. ByBlacks.com Restaurant Week is happening next week, family. So you know what? This is a national event. A national event. We have restaurants. They have restaurants from one side of the country, the left side, to the right side of the country. And we are very excited. Today, right now, we're going to have some chefs on the left side, the West Coast, joining us today. But a few more pieces of information. If you want to find out more information about ByBlacks.com, Black Restaurant Week, or Restaurant Week, sorry, go to ByBlacks.com/Restaurant Week. And when you go there, why don't I just show you what you're going to see? You know, people, it's one thing to talk about it. Let me show you what you're going to see. You're going to see this. Let's bring it up on the screen right here, right now. Okay, there you go. You're going to see. So as we're broadcasting right now, it's 2 days, 19 hours, 56 minutes, and 50 seconds. And that's when you go to that website. And let me just take you down the whole thing, get a little bit of information. We're going to be talking about some restaurants today, or sharing with some restaurants in Western Canada to see cities there: Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Surrey. We have stuff from the Central Canada area, all throughout the Greater Toronto area. We have some stuff in also Windsor, Ontario. We have Eastern Canada, Halifax represent, Montreal represent, Moncton represent, Sackville represent. So we got it. Dartmouth represents, Charlottetown represent. And let's give a shout out to some of the people that have helped make this happen on top of ByBlacks.com. Official sponsor, the Black Opportunity Fund, various media sponsors, the community associations, Afro-Caribbean Business Network, BBPA, BBI, Jamaican Canadian Association, and others, and then tourism boards. Destination Toronto, Destination Halifax, Downtown Halifax, Discover Halifax, and Explore Edmonton. So that's what you're going to see on top of the restaurants for ByBlacks Restaurant Week, May 15th to 21st. So we have at least 2 restaurants going to be joining us right now. At least 2, because there's a gem who just jumped in, and I went, "Oh, okay. You just come on in like that. You just play like a player like that." So no problem. We're gonna get both of them on. So let me just get my technical challenge here. We got this here. So let's bring to the stage. I like to do ladies first. Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Outstanding. And Chef Ty from Tommy's Jerk. What's going on, family? How we doing today?
Good morning, Doc. How are you? I'm wonderful. I good. I good. How are you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is great. We're gonna have an epic conversation today. And I always like to start, especially for the audience I have here, many of them have not even heard of you before. So Jennifer, can you share some of your story and a bit about your restaurant?
I'm Jennifer Robertson. I'm the owner of Sauce Modern Caribbean Cuisine. We are in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We opened our restaurant. Actually, in a couple of days, will be 6 months that
Wow.
we've opened. So our focus is Caribbean cuisine as a whole. So dishes from all over the Caribbean. In Edmonton, the main focus up until now has been Jamaican cuisine. Most of the restaurants are Jamaican based, but we're focusing on all the Caribbean. I'm originally born and raised in Edmonton, but my parents are from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, small island. And
Vinci.
that's, yeah, Vincy, all the way.
All right, Vinci, yes,
SVG.
Vinci.
I love my small island. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone was represented in our restaurant because we're overlooked as a small island. Not just St. Vincent, we have dishes from Barbados, we have dishes from Trinidad. We're working on dishes from St. Lucia right now and Grenada. So Edmonton's a very where maybe in the Ontario area, there's probably more catered to the Jamaican Trinidad area, but we have a lot of small island representation. So I felt like it was a very good, very important that we showcased and celebrated all of the Caribbean. And what also sets us apart from other restaurants is we are, fully dine-in restaurant. We have 50 seats, where we have tried to elevate the experience in the Caribbean cuisine world. So, we have modernized the restaurant, the feel, the look. It's very like moody and classy, modern. We also have 30 seats outside in our patio. So we have really tried to, make ourselves known in just the cuisine of just in the food industry in Edmonton as a whole. And we hope everyone is able to come out next week. Starting on, so we're closed on Monday, so we will be starting on Tuesday, and come out and try our prefix menu, as well as we have a full set of items as well that you can also try while you're visiting.
Wonderful. Like that is a lot. That is a lot, especially in 6 months. Boy, boy, we're gonna get into a little bit of that story in a few moments. So Tommy, tell us
Yes, sir.
about Tommy's Jerk.
Well, thanks again, Dr. Vibe, for the opportunity. We are
My
Tommy's
pleasure.
Jerk, Jamaican restaurant based in Surrey, BC, right outside of Vancouver. We've been open about 2 years, and we just want people to have the Jamaican experience. So I focused on a couple of things. I wanted to be number one in Jamaican jerk chicken. Period. It's 5.2 million people here, plus all the folks that'll be visiting from listening to the show. So we do chicken and we do beef. Those are the main two. Eventually, we will add pork, and we wanted to be innovative with it. So we took the grilled chicken, we make it boneless thighs. Jerk come from the smoke, so it has to go in the pan 52 weeks of the year. It's on them outside or somebody's outside in the rain, sleet, hail, and the snow, making sure that it's as
And I've
pure as
seen you
can
do that,
be.
by the way, on some of your posts.
True. So again, and we just so then I wanted to be creative and innovative again. So then we put it on tacos, and like melt some cheese, put a whole heap of meat on there, lettuce, peach mango salsa, and then top it with a little jerk barbecue sauce. Tacos, burritos. We put it in nachos, and then we do mama's rice and peas. So we do a layer of rice and peas, layer of protein that you want, and a layer of rice and peas topped with a little jerk barbecue sauce. And then we do our Jamaican lemonades as well, pineapple, strawberry, and peach mango tea.
Oh boy, if I could just fly on the next plane to both to stop at Jennifer, then do the next stop over to you, I would
I
say.
gotta stop at Jennifer's spot. I do. I do.
Okay, all
I
right, all
do.
right. This is fantastic. So, Jennifer,
Yes.
6 months ago, you weren't open.
No, we weren't.
You weren't open. Why get into this business? I'm also gonna ask
Mm,
Tommy, but I want to get. I always like the new people
hmm
because the new people have different experiences at a time. So I'd like to compare your experiences. So Jennifer, what like give us why did you want to, especially post pandemic?
Yeah, that's it's so we actually originally started working on the restaurant in 2019.
Okay.
Actually, like the concept came like, maybe 10 years ago. My aunt is she did catering for like majority of her life. Back in St. Vincent and in Edmonton. She's well known for her roti, well known for her palau, well known for a lot of her dishes.
Hmm.
So her dream was always to open up a restaurant,
Okay.
and my dream was to open up a business of some sort.
A
um,
business, not a food
and
business, a business.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I was like, I really felt like we, as a Caribbean culture, were not well represented in the food industry. We
Okay.
have a lot of smaller restaurants, a lot of takeout options, and we don't really have options where you can come and sit down and bring a coworker, hang out. Um, enjoy socializing with friends, meet people that you haven't seen in a long time. So I was like, okay, my aunt's dream to open a restaurant. She's an amazing cook, and I always wanted to do a business. And so we started really, I'd say maybe 2018 was like, okay, it's a haha moment. And then 2019 is when we went, okay, like let's start working on this. Let's start looking at venues, business plan. Um, and so we went on that journey. And I'm actually like a full time mechanical engineer. So, uh,
Time out. Oh, hey, okay. Time out. So Tommy's facial expression and my facial expression. Time out. You're a full time what?
mechanical engineer.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So you still doing this?
Yeah, I'm still doing this. So that's probably what took a longer because up until 2019-ish, 18, 19, I was based in Fort McMurray. So I was in the oil industry. I'm still in the oil industry. I was in a refinery. So
Oh
it
my
wasn't easy
gosh.
for me to kind of work on the restaurant when I'm traveling back and forth. I'm working 12 days on, 2 days off, or, 5 days on, 3 days off, or so it was really difficult. So I made the decision, okay, I need to move back. I need to be back in Edmonton. I can't be traveling back and forth if I'm going to do this with my aunt, even though my aunt was going to be like the main, the cook, and we would have surrounding staff that would support her. But it was just too difficult to stay in Fort McMurray. So then I made the decision to like, okay, it's time for me to just move my job somewhere close to home. So I'm still in the oil and gas industry. I still work full time. I'm just in a refinery that's a little closer that I can drive. It's like about 45-minute drive in the morning. So so it's really,
Just,
yeah. So
I think there's an essence of a reality show what you do every day, both of you, but especially you with oil, like juggling two things.
yeah, it's been a lot. It's definitely it's been challenging. It's probably a little more challenging. We unfortunately in 2020, right in the beginning of the pandemic, we lost my aunt suddenly.
My condolences.
And so we were kind of dealing with the loss of my aunt, and I was dealing with the pandemic, and we couldn't get together for a funeral properly for her. And So kind of step back from the idea of the restaurant. Didn't really feel like I should do it anymore, since it was really my aunt's dream, and I really just wanted to do a business, and I was going to help her bring her dream to reality. But then, as time went on, and my family, we were all like, no, I think your aunt would really want you to just continue doing this, and so everyone kind of had to step up. My mom ended up being like the main chef, recipes, menu, and everything, just in honor of my aunt. And then became even more challenging because now we're like, okay, we don't even have a full-time chef. So we had to hire 2 full-time chefs to help, with the restaurant. In the end, it actually ended up being a really good decision because I'm working. My sister also helps. She works full time. My parents are retired. So hiring a full time, like a full staff, ended up being the best thing we could have done. If it was with my aunt, we probably would have like put a lot more on her, as you know it would have been a lot for her. I think now that we're in it, now that I'm in the restaurant industry, it's very difficult. It's way harder than I thought.
Mm.
Extremely hard. Everything is different than what I would have thought it was, like advertising, marketing, just the everyday staff. Staffing was beyond difficult than anything I ever thought it would be. Like absolutely difficult. Like, but we have now a really good core of staff. We have 2 main chefs. My mom helps out
Mm-hmm.
some of the slower days, so we don't have to bring in both chefs that day. And we have 8 bartenders and servers.
Wow.
Dishwasher, young guy, he's 17 years old, and we're bringing on more people. So it's been very eye-opening. It's been very challenging, but very rewarding. We have like amazing reviews. We have amazing customers that, really understand what we were trying to do and really see that, okay, yeah, it came to fruition. It came, this modern restaurant focusing on Caribbean cuisine, but you still feel like home. But, if you want to get dressed up and come out, you don't feel overdressed. There's, that nice level, that balance that I was trying to create. And, trying to be in par, or at least try and compete with, the Cactus Clubs of the world. And, just not just be a Caribbean restaurant or a Jamaican restaurant, but just a restaurant in Edmonton that serves Caribbean cuisine, right?
So much there. First of all, condolences on the loss of your aunt. And one of the things, and I also like to say you're a true example of making your test your testimony.
Thank you.
That is, we have some people here, from Central Canada. Ray saying, good afternoon. Great to see Caribbean restaurants doing it differently, taking Caribbean cuisine to a different level, continued success, motivation for a cross-country road trip.
Oh, can't wait to see you.
Okay. Fitness IQ Cam goes, wow, to your story, and also says, my condolences. So, Tommy, you and I have spoken in the past, but a lot of people here don't know any of your journey. So if you can share some of your journey to where you are today, it would be great.
I appreciate that again, Doc. Well, a few years ago, I was just trying to figure out. I had one career for almost maybe 20, 25 years, right? And I'd done really, really well. And I was okay with it. Like I could still do it today if I wanted to do it today. But I was trying to figure out what I was really, really good at and what I could be great at and where I could carve my niche. And then, it just happened by happenstance. If you had an event at your house or somebody else did, I would come and, we bring a little potluck. I make a little jerk and then just put it out and not really say anything to see what people's responses were. And every single time, we go to a place and it's like, who made that? Who made that? Who made that? Who made that? So you got to qualify yourself. And I still wouldn't say anything because if all the chicken was eaten and they were looking, let me see, and then we get one little baby piece right there and they get a piece and they eat it, and it's like, oh my goodness, and then they get up. I saw this one older lady Everybody had their plates around the table, and she had hers with one wing, and then she ate that wing, and she got right back up immediately and got a plate full of wings and came back, and they was like, "What's that?" And then in about 7 minutes, all of it was gone. Then we put the second one in, and that was gone in about 2 or 3 minutes. And once that kept happening, I realized I had a thing. So you try some unconventional things. 2017, I wanted to do in Vancouver. There are certain events. One of them is 420, right, where they have a big. Well, then I haven't been there since 2017, but they have a big event. And at that event, that the product that everyone consumes, 100 out of 100 people are hungry afterwards. So I was like, that makes sense. Let's put two and two together. Hey, I met a guy there. Asked him if he wanted a jerk taco, and he said, yeah. Had him get a bite. He took a bite. His girlfriend, he took a second bite and didn't say anything and was still eating. His girlfriend grabbed it out of his hand. She was like, this is really good. And I was like, whoa. And I had a line around the corner. We sold out in about maybe 4 or 5 hours. It was a one-day event. And I knew I had a thing. So I was putting a plan in place so that I could figure out, how I can continue to share my culture and my love for jerk chicken.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Fantastic. We're going to do a little broadcasting on Instagram Live. Let's get our IG family here. Yes, what is up, IG Live? We are talking with two incredible restaurateurs from the left coast of Canada, Jennifer from Sauce, Modern Caribbean Cuisine, and Chef Ty from Tommy's Jerk. So we're talking about some of their journey, and also ByBlacks Black Restaurant Week, which is happening May 15th to the 21st. Go to byblacks.com/restaurant to find out more information. So here's a question for both of you. Do you remember your first day of business? And what was that like?
Definitely.
Okay,
Mine was 6
let's
months
go,
ago,
Jen.
so
You
yeah.
go first, Jenny. You go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Okay,
No, we
problem.
want you. You're the.
Oh, I'm me?
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah, we want you. You're the
Actually,
ladies
I have
first,
a very
too.
my journey, like every part of the journey was very interesting, I would say. We opened November 18th, was a Friday. But no one knew up until about maybe a couple hours. We opened at 4:30. Up until maybe noon that day, we had no liquor license yet.
Oh, gosh.
The day before, we had just got our business license, or 2 days before, we had just got our business license.
Jennifer, you're not easy.
So it was chaotic. I mean, I was supposed to originally open in September. Construction got delayed, permits got delayed, and I just told my contractor, I'm like, you know what? I can't hold off anymore. People keep asking. So I'm like, I'm setting a date, and whatever you need to do to work at it, I don't care if you have to bring in 10, 15, 20 people to come and finish. Get the city. I was calling the city like every hour on the hour, like every day to get, gas permit done, HVAC permit done, fire marshal, occupancy. It was chaotic. The AGLC, which is our Alberta Liquor and Gaming Association.
Yeah.
And it was just chaotic, absolutely chaotic. Yeah. I didn't even think, I was like, can I even open right now? But I'm like, I've already told people. We had like musicians, we had a saxophone player, we had a DJ all weekend, we had a saxophone player all weekend, we had singers all weekend lined up for like this grand opening weekend. And it was, but eventually everyone came through, the city came through, everyone came through for me, and we were able to open at 4:30. It was still chaotic, even though we opened on time. We ran out of like everything.
That's not a bad thing.
And yeah, it was a lot. It was a big learning curve for everybody, even though my two chefs are very experienced. They've been in the business for like 20 years. My like the servers weren't as experienced, and bartenders, but we made it through. We got through the weekend. It went well. I think because no one up until that point, I didn't really promote or show necessarily the whole restaurant. So people were seeing like clips of things. And so when they came in, I think people were very shocked to see what it looked like, how nice it looked, how professional everybody was, how like warm and welcoming our staff were. I think that was also a big shock to everybody. And that, you know, I had a saxophone player, I had a DJ, I had a singer. Like, I think it definitely was, it was an epic opening.
Is any of this, like, did you document it video wise?
Yeah, I have, we had so my cousin came and, he came and did, photography for me. But I didn't have any videos of it.
Oh, the video would have
I
been
do have some
priceless.
videos, but they're not like necessarily well quality because I didn't have time to get a videographer. But it was, yeah, it was a lot.
Well, if I'm ever blessed, I would love to see some of those videos if you're willing to share, because I think they'd be quite interesting. And you know what I want to say? Look where you've come from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look where you came from. You know, you had a vision, and when the dream is big, the facts don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, you found a way. So that's fantastic. Just want to shout out some people on Instagram: Kinte Ferguson, T_more_. Shirley Joss, head of the Black Canadian content creators, is checking all this out. We are talking to two incredible, not only restaurateurs, but two incredible people. Jennifer from Sauce Modern Caribbean Cuisine Restaurant, and Tommy from Tommy's Jerk. So Tommy, did you have an opening as quite as eventful as Jennifer? Okay, we lost Tommy for a second. I hope he's not running away from the question. All right, no problem. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on to another conversation piece then. So you're 6 months in. Oh, Tommy's back.
Tommy. He's back.
I'm not sure what happened, y'all. I appreciate it. Keep going, Jay. I apologize about interrupting.
No. Well, I'm just saying that we'd like to know if your opening was as eventful as
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
When she said that, I just started laughing because you're talking about your spot or my spot, because it's the same thing. And mine isn't a dine-in. Mine is a pickup, but it was the same thing. It went from 0 to 100. We didn't have enough food. We didn't have enough this. We didn't have enough cheese. We didn't have enough nachos. And then I went and got everything. And then we came back, and then it went to 0. And then 10 minutes before we closed, we had a line around the corner, and I sold out again. Like, it went from, and that's what it was. And I was like, because I was like, I went back and bought all this food, and I shouldn't have bought all this food. And then it just started coming. And then it was a slow progression. There was an article written about us, and it got busy. But at the first couple of weeks, it was like one person per hour. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. If nobody's sure, I will be here tomorrow. And if nobody, and then I know what it costs. I know the price. Jay, I understand. I completely understand. And you like, but I was just determined. It doesn't matter. Then 2 people started coming in an hour. See, every half hour, then 3 people, then 4 people. Then it started getting busier, and people start sharing in their like Facebook groups and then Instagram. And so then I started to find out what my niche was, and like say 16 to 32-year-olds are where I'm at, and they're all on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And once we started having the kids would come by and do little videos and stuff like that, then it started to blow up more, and people started to find out about us. But it was with the amount of food. Like now, I gotta call a big place to like to bring the truck the food in. We gotta do it like that. But it used to be 1 5-pound bag of cheese I had, and that would have lasted me all weekend with 1 2-pack of tacos and 1 pack of burritos and 3 Doritos and some rice and 1 little baby rice and peas rice cooker.
Wow.
That was it.
Well, cheers to both of you and your resiliency. I just got some comments here. Ray from the McNugget says, what amazing journeys, amazing stories. Strength and determination are the key ingredients to succeeding. Definitely both of you have that. Fitness IQ Cam says, looks like I have to head to the West.
Hey, come, brother.
Yeah.
And Ray says, I have noted that many, quote, successful, unquote, black restaurants in the GTA have a large number of non-black staff. with the smaller Black population out west, is it the same?
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, my staff is all Black.
Oh,
I I'm not straying away from that. I am try as long as I can provide, as long as I can be open and find those needle in the haystack, because it's very, very difficult to find, very, very difficult, especially in the food industry.
mhm.
But I'm going to continue to have a full Black staff. So
Okay. Tommy?
On the other side, my staff is not all. We're about I maybe have 3 Black employees, and everyone else is not, right. So um, I make sure that I do a majority of the cooking. I've hired someone, but my recipes stay the same, and I keep it as pure as I can. It's only 1% of the population is people of color, just one. So if you stand in there with 100 people, you're the only one. So just say hello and give
There
yourself
you
a
go.
high five. That is what it is.
oh yeah.
But the culture matters to me more than anything, and I keep my food as pure as I possibly can. So yeah.
All right. We're going to jump off of IG Live here. If you want to catch more of this conversation in real time right now or on the replay, make sure you check the link in the bio. It will take you to the YouTube page. And when you go on YouTube, not only subscribe, but hit the notification button and tell other people about it. So thanks for joining us today. All right. Next question for y'all. What percentage of your clientele is melanated?
I can
I would
answer that.
say
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
no. Go ahead. Oh, I think.
If I have to answer that question, probably somewhere between 8 and 10%.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, yeah, that's about where we are. And so I have the ones who know about me, and they come and they tell everybody. Mostly when we host events, I'm there catering or being a vendor there because I want to continue to get my name out. I don't say, hey, I'm not going over here. Of course, if there's an opportunity, like there's one, an organization, the name escapes me because they reached out to me 2 days ago, but I'll be there as well. If it's something that brings all of us together, I want to be first in line to do it. But yeah, with 99% of the people, I looked at it a different way. I see it as there are 99 people who have never had jerk chicken before. So let's introduce it to them. And what a great opportunity that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say mine is maybe 60, 70%.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. I think we have someone else joining on here. Let's bring Cullen David. What's going on?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good day. Good day. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. How about yourself?
I am outstanding, blessed, highly favored, magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, the pleasure is mine. Tell us a little bit about your establishment.
Calabash Bistro. We're a 2-floor Caribbean bistro. We have, we used to have a lot of live music before COVID, but as of now, we just do a lot of DJs. So we have dancing and do lots of functions, catering. Good parties. Yeah, good vibes down here.
No problem. I'm going to treat you the same way as the two others. Can you remember your first day of business?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, want to hear about it.
Well, our first day of business actually started before we were officially open. We threw a couple parties here in this space, literally before the kitchen was even built.
Oh,
yes. So I remember cooking meal for probably, or appetizers and snacks for probably about 100 people on fold-out tables with barely any oven or anything. So yeah, and it was just me, and I had a friend who was walking by, a guy I used to work with, and he was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I'm cooking for all these people," and he said, "Okay, I'll give you a hand." So yeah, that was our first day of business. It was pretty crazy for me, but it was a great party. We had a great time, and it was sort of an amazing way to kick off the space here at Calabash.
Excellent. Want to know, how did each one of you get involved? Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off that conversation. Another question here coming from Ray from the Macmillan Group. In the U.S., particularly the South, social media food groups are the platform many use to promote and get reviews. Is it the same in your areas? And how successful is that approach?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think social media is it's been a really big help for us here at Calabash, and it's kind of showing that is a medium that sort of everyone is using these days, and it's cheap and expensive. You can do it yourself, right? So, yeah.
Okay, Tommy.
I completely agree. So marketing will always be marketing. It's been that way since the beginning of time, and through time, and until the end of time, it'll be the same way, right? This is just a different way. We used to. I'm in between generations, so I'm older than the younger guys and gals now, and younger than the mom and pop and grandpa. So I'm okay with either. I remember when we used to pass out flyers, right, and put them on cars, right? But almost nobody does that now, like 0%, right? But then I'm also understanding that if you want to get your message out, you're going to have to use the social media one way or the other, and different ones reach to different ones. An older clientele is Facebook. A younger clientele is Instagram, TikTok, sorry, Snapchat. And it's the same thing. Nothing changes. It's just different platforms we're using. So definitely 100%. Even if the older people hear it the one way via word of mouth, they'll still tell people when they go in the grocery store, hey, have you heard about this place, Tommy's Church? And then the younger people are like, hey, let me forward this to you. They're doing the same thing. It's just 2 different ways or 3 different ways, something like that.
Jennifer?
Yeah, I agree. Ours is not social media is, I find, like it's like very finicky, right? You can have people that have 100K followers, and if they were to try and sell something on their page, they may struggle. But you can have somebody who has 100K followers, and they would try to sell something on their social media page, and they could sell out. So it's not always we're finding that it's like a combination of, like, word of mouth has been very big for us. Especially that my parents, who are very involved, retired, they're on Facebook, but their main source is like word of mouth, like church, functions. We've done some catering, we've done some funerals and birthdays and parties, and those have been really successful for us to grow. Where social media, the awareness is there, we're growing our followers, but it's not always translating into new customers. People like it. I have 900 followers right now, but I can have 900 people like it, and then like an event or like something, and it just that many people come back to the restaurant. That's not always happening, right? So I don't always feel like social media is like the main focus. I think we all like to think that, if as long as you market it on social media, as long as you're doing content creation and creating reels and being on TikTok, that's the only way. But it's engagement is really important. So that is the way you need to get people in. It can't just be go on social media, create your following group or followers, and then hope that that's going to get people through the door. Because anyone can like something, share something. It doesn't make them get up out of their house, drive to your restaurant or drive to your place or buy your stuff.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely right.
Hey, anyone want to add to that?
Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Social. I think that's the disconnect with social media is the transition from getting them on your page, getting them in your door, and that's the hardest part of it. And I think it really comes down to, like you said, the word of mouth, but it's the word of mouth of your vibe, of how you treat people, and what you're enticing them with to bring them in the doors, So really finding that little niche and finding the correct ways to do that is the real crux of the social media, because you're absolutely right. Getting them in the doors is much different than getting them to like your page, your post or whatever. So
I fully agree. I'll just say personally here that engagement when you said that word, Jennifer, is so key. And what you want to get people to do is get them to know, like, and trust you. And do you have what they want? And can they afford it?
Yeah.
So key. I know we got another question coming up, but I'm going to ask, how did each one of you get involved in ByBlacks.com Restaurant Week? And also, can you, on top of that, what's your prefix menu for next week? So who would like to start?
I can start. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go, Cam. Yes.
All right. We have a pretty simple guide. We heard through the BB. I always get the acronym wrong.
BBABC,
the Black Business Association here in BC, and so we're doing a fairly traditional menu: some patties, jerk chicken, and then we have our mango banoffee pie for dessert. Yeah, so that one's sort of a big draw. I love that dessert. It's one of my personal favorites, and my son's and my wife's personal favorites. So really happy to give that, serve that to the people.
Nice. Who's next?
You can go, Tommy.
All right. So at Thomas Jerk, we simplified as well. We for the prefix menu for 2, we're going to do burrito. So you can choose jerk chicken or you can choose jerk beef or a combination of both at no additional charge. We do 2 of those. I jazzed up rice and peas. So Mama's rice and peas is a cheesy rice and peas. So we do that layer of rice and peas, and then we do shredded cheese there. We do the protein, shredded cheese again, and a little jerk barbecue sauce on top of it. And it's a cheesy rice and peas. And we'll do lemonades, and then we also do it'll either be mango cheesecake where I did a mango sauce to go across it, or we'll do a strawberry cheesecake as well where I did strawberries that go across it. Just something a little bit funky.
Jennifer.
So we heard about it through Feed the Soul. So Feed the Soul is an organization that just started this year. So they did a dining week for Black owned restaurants in Edmonton in February. And then they reached out to me saying, hey, there's another national restaurant week, or would you be interested? So we originally, when we did the Feed the Soul dining week, we had a menu which was codfish cakes, stewed chicken, and then we had one of our cocktails, Island Blue. So we wanted to change it up because our customers were already aware of. We already had that menu, so we didn't want to use that same menu in this one. So we're going with our cuckoo sticks. So that is to celebrate Barbados because cuckoo is their national dish. Then we have jerk chicken. It's a crowd favorite. And then we have our cassava pone for dessert, which is my grandmother's recipe.
All right.
So yeah, we're making it a little different this time so that we just because the people in Edmonton they've already seen our dining week from Feed the Soul in February, so we want to do an option, different menu this time. So.
All right. Fitness IQ Camp says, geez, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. All right. Another question from Ray. We can never please everyone. If you get negative reviews, usually online, how do you handle those if you get them?
Well, I think it's always going to happen, especially in our culture. Everyone's used to mom or grandma's cooking, so when you're not doing it like them, you're doing it wrong, right? So I think a negative review is some of the time you got to take it with a grain of salt. What we'll do is we'll reach out to them and just try and talk to them and see what the real issue is to understand if it's a valid complaint or not. And then, if it was service or something obvious, then we usually give them a gift certificate and try and smooth it over so everyone walks away happy. It's kind of what we do with complaints, yeah.
Who else? How do you handle those negative comments, reviews?
The thing that matters to me most is the customer experience when they walk through the door. And again, he was right. You know, you can't please everybody. It's going to be somebody who it's subjective. We all three of us have said jerk chicken or some way or form. And everybody, you know, somebody could like it this way, somebody could not like it that way. So again, we try to address whatever the issue is. Was the issue the actual food? Was the temperature the issue? Was it the service? Did your food not come out fast enough? Whatever it is, I just try to reach out and just see what it is. You can address it, and then it could be anything. They could have had a bad day, and then you're the sum total of the bad day, and they're barking at you. It's like, whoa, okay, well, let's sit you down. Let's get you some water. Let's get you some bread. Let's figure out what we can do. And and then okay. So I had an argument with my partner. Okay. So let me bring you another piece of chicken out here. Okay. I mean, but you're like the barber. It's the truth. I mean, I got a friend that's a barber, a master barber, and you sometimes are the counselor. You're like, I didn't sign up for all this, but you didn't. But that's what it is. But I'm not mad at him. But sometimes I would say 9 out of 10, 10 times out of 10, once we address the issue, they'll either change it or they'll reply behind it and say, hey, they at least addressed my issue. They missed an item in my thing and they gave me this back. And sometimes somebody just won't. And I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you. That's all you can do.
Jennifer?
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, I was actually really shocked since we opened, like our reviews, like people are writing like novels when they write a review on Google, like a full on like essay. And so when we do get negative reviews, they're pretty like short, and so we're able to really, like, I'm at the restaurant like every day, and so I kind of are able to talk to every customer that has come in for the most part, unless I get there a little late. So when I see a negative review, I kind of know who it is, because as soon as when they write it, I was like, okay, yeah, I remember who this is. So I usually reach out to them and find out, or I kind of remember, okay, yeah, you know, they're right. You know, there was, you know, one of my servers was made a mistake with their item. So I am trying to fix it as it's happening. And if I can't, I reach out to them. And sometimes you just like Tommy said, sometimes you can do everything, and as people are just, you can give them free food, you can comp, you can give gift cards, and some of them are just like, no, like, you know. I think the biggest thing I've noticed is like people have complained or have I guess a complaint about the cost and of the food, and I always like rebuttal back saying, you know, you go to Cactus Club and pay $20-$30 for a burger that has no flavor, you know, mashed potatoes that are nothing, asparagus that you can make at your house. You're paying $30. I'm giving you home cooked, well spiced, seasoned, cooked fresh every single day at the same price point. But then you're going to say that it's too expensive, right? Or it's expensive. And I'm like, you know, as long as we are going to downgrade our food and, you know, put ourselves back, you know, we're never going to achieve and, you know, progress. Like we're always thinking that we have to be less than everybody else. We're a restaurant like everyone else. It's food like everyone else. Groceries, they're going to the same grocery stores that I'm going to. And yet, you know, people are going to complain about the price, but you don't complain about the price when at any of these restaurants. You go to McDonald's and you can't even get anything for like less than $11.
Right.
Right. And it's still the same burger that you had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's
Jennifer's going in.
Yeah.
Jennifer's going in. Jennifer's going in.
Now. Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like, I mean, you know, the amount of effort, I know what my staff puts in, my kitchen staff, to make food. I know that there's other restaurants that are not putting anywhere near that. I know for a fact. We are cooking goat 3 hours. We were making oxtail 2-3 hours ahead. Like it takes a long time. You know, we're going to the butcher to pick out and make sure it's cut to the sizes that we need. Like who's doing that? A lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people are getting frozen stuff, pre-made things that are just put in an oven. And so I really try not to, you know, take some of those comments to heart, because, you know, I know how hard we're working. and I know what we're doing and what we're not doing. And, sometimes you just got to live with the results. So.
I love it. Standing by your brand and product. I love it. That is good stuff. So there's a gentleman who you may know of says, the menu sounded amazing. Some guy named Roger Dundas.
Shout out, Roger.
Good out to have you here, Roger. And Fitness IQ goes, we are all drooling. So now Roger's coming. See, Jennifer, since you got in now, you went in. Roger's got a question for you all now. So Roger, Roger is intense in marketing, so he's got a question for you. How does SEO play into your marketing?
I'm doing it right now. I just started. So we just started our SEO campaign about a month ago. I'm just doing my first monthly progress with the SEO team next week. So I'm seeing already results from it already. So I find it's very helpful. I find it's like almost important or necessary.
Okay. Anybody else using SEO?
In a sense, we are. What I found out is, like you guys said earlier, engagement is the way, right? So, of all of the 3 restaurants we have here, everybody has their top 10 to 20% of people who absolutely love you. You could say, we got woo wop the bam. They'd be like, oh my goodness, give me one of them, without even, they're just going to buy it. Those are the people you got to focus on and seeing if you can get them to engage, getting them to post it, take that. Everybody's taking a picture of their food when they sit down. Everybody. So I don't think it's any shame in saying, hey, since you took a picture, can you post it and just shout us out? That's it. And once that starts, and people do it anyway, because we do it at every single restaurant or place we go, people coffee shop, everything. So why can't they do it for us? And if they do it between that and saying Google and asking people for reviews, that top 10%, those are golden people. And they will round out the top and versus the bottom. That's the yin and the yang, and that'll even everything out. So again, and then those are the ones who tell people, and that's just how it is. And that'll get you the results I think that you want.
Colin at all?
Honestly, it's not my expertise. My partners handle more of that sort of stuff, so I wouldn't have too much to add.
No problem at all. Ray has a question here. Where are the 2 BC restaurants located? Which cities? And Tommy, do you offer jerk fish or shrimp taco for us non-meat eaters?
Tommy's Jerk is in Surrey, right outside of Vancouver. So just land in YVR, grab an Uber, and put in Tommy's Jerk, and we'll pop up and just come on down. As far as fish, right now we don't offer any fish options. What we do offer is, I've been because I'm a creator at heart, I've been working on. We get a lot of fitness people coming through, and some who don't eat meat. So I've been trying to play with tofu and see what it is. Squash, I've been working, that did well, and so I can jerk anything. So just give me some time, offer a suggestion, send us an email or jump on Instagram and then say what's up, and I'll try it, and then I'll give it to 25 or 50 people because I need them to taste it, and then we'll roll it out slowly and roll it out. But some days I just love to go in and cook. That's just a part of who I am in my DNA.
Colin, where's your place?
We're in downtown Vancouver, just between Gastown and Chinatown area. Yes, and we do have fish. We do have a couple of fish dishes as well.
Let me ask all 3 of you, what is the biggest opportunity that you're looking to get to, your next step in the journeys of your establishments? What's the next thing you're looking at? If you're at liberty to share, I have to put that thing in there.
I think for us here at Calabash, our next thing is really making a big push for wholesale and retail items. That's one of the things that we're really moving towards, and really making an impact there. And it's as much as we'd like to get into the big stores and stuff like that, but we also know that is a whole nother industry, and it's huge, and it's a lot of work and a lot of knowledge and a lot of little things that you have to do and little things you have to know that isn't really in the restaurant world skill set. It's much different. But wholesale and stuff to other restaurants, as you know, as I'm sure all of you guys have seen, the real boom in, for example, jerk on menus across the spectrum of cuisine. It's everywhere. So becoming, kind of a hub where other places, other peoples, be it from all walks, can come and get products that they can use in their own restaurants or their own homes. Be it spice blends or jerk marinades or sauces. Those are all things that we've been really pushing to do, and then even servicing other, for example, breweries and stuff with patties. Something as simple as that. It's perfect. It's the perfect thing for them to have in their establishments, and it's just about getting the people and to produce those items, in-house, and being able to get it out to them. So I think for us, that's our biggest push. And of course, that all came about because of COVID and having to make those pivots and do different things to attract more people and get our name out there more and have more of a presence in the food industry, So yeah.
Who's next? What's up next?
For me, I mean, we're just 6 months in, so we would like to just get through a year of what a year feels like for us. And we would like to try and end the year with trying to figure out how to like bottle our sauces in masses, because we're called sauce for a reason. Everything is, sauce. We have a lot of signature sauces. So we would like to try and see if we can bottle the sauces and like we run out of sauces so fast. Like my mom makes all the sauces, all her recipes, and we thought like because we're closed on Monday, she goes in, makes the sauces on Mondays, and then by like Friday, like she's making them again.
Oh wow!
So it's yeah, and
you're on to something.
Yeah, so we were definitely
going to
try and figure
all
out
about the sauce.
Yeah, it's all about the sauce. That's why we call it sauce. Yeah, so that's kind of, but I think the main focus is just trying to get through what a year looks like. We're going to our first summer, so what does that feel like? We're opening our patio in a week. We're having a party on the 21st to
Nice.
open our patio up. And yeah, we're just trying to, get through those big milestones like a summer. We went through a winter, but we had just opened. And, where do we see all our customer bases? Trying to capture where all our customers are and really hone in on good value in terms of where we want to spend our advertising money and marketing and everything, because we've had a lot of marketing people give us proposals and figure out if the value is worth it there. So
reach out to Roger. He can give you some good evaluated experience on that. Tommy, what's up next?
So yeah, I'm ambitious, and if you look up the word ambition in the dictionary, I'll be smiling. In our province, Colony, and it's 5.2 million people here, and I will not stop until everybody has heard the name Tommy's Jerk, or at least tried jerk chicken, whether it be mine or not, but of course mine. And so we're gonna introduce everybody here to jerk chicken, and that's what it is. And in the next 3 years, the government said they're gonna send another 1.5 million people. So now we at 5.7 million people. Yeah, 6.7 million people. Yeah, I got work to do. So
I think we all do. Well, look, before we all close out, just like to get some final words. If you have anything wonderful to say about ByBlacks, that can be put in also. So who wants to close up first? Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? I'll change that up. What suggestion would you give someone who is melanated, who wants to get in this industry? I think, and then if you want to say anything about ByBlacks on top of that, but I think that'd be a good question. As from someone who's 6 months in to you gentlemen that have been in for a bit, I think it'd be interesting perspective. So I want to go with ladies first. What advice would you give, and any last shout outs to ByBlacks?
Advice, I would say stick to your beliefs. I was very strong on a lot of things, and I had a lot of people, try and convince me to do other things. Especially someone's like, oh, you should put a person of non-color at your front to encourage people to come to your restaurant. And I was like, nope. I mean, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down with like, my beliefs and being an authentic Caribbean place. And so that was just one example of something that I was really strong in, on what I wanted to do and how I wanted it to be presented and what I wanted people to see and understand. And I feel like it's paying dividends now. And I think it's just everyone's like, follow your dreams, but it's not even just a dream issue. It's more of like what you stand for. Because I feel like this is what I stand for. It was maybe originally a dream, but it's more of like who I am. This represents who I am. Every being of me, my culture, being a female, Black female, being in an industry when like I'm an engineer, so I've always been in an industry that is not for me, in oil and gas. So I've definitely think that it's more about doing something that represents yourself, and I think it will come out really well as long as you're doing something that represents yourself and you can stand on it 10 toes down. For ByBlacks, I really, since being part of Feed the Soul, I really appreciate organizations that really are seeing the need for representation and celebration and showcasing the Black culture as a whole. You have Black History Month, but we're Black every day, all day, every day, 365 days. So it's good that everyone else is seeing the need for all the different types of spaces that we exist in, and food is a big part of our culture. So I encourage everyone to go and try out all the restaurants across Canada, and tell us how it is. If you like it, leave us a review. Tell people. If you have comments, we want to hear we want to hear the good and bad comments, right? It's the only way if we can get better.
Right. Thank you. Cullen, let's go next.
Sure. Yeah. First, just going back to locations, we do have a second pop-up location under the Bentall Center here in Vancouver as well. But to close up, I think, your love and your passion, those are two things that you need to have, you need to hold on to and nurture throughout the process. In the beginning, when you start out, that's what you're going off of. That's your driving force, your love and your passion. So it's really important to nurture that and to keep that at a high level. And don't let any of that lack of understanding for your love and your passion of our culture, of our food, because we can all see it, but most of the general public don't understand and don't even try to. So it's when you face that point of, that blank face that has no understanding of what you're trying to do, no real want to understand it. That's the point where you have to remember that your love of this food, your passion for it has to stay high. You have to keep that at the forefront, because there's so many opportunities for people to throw it in your face and say, it's not going to work. I had that when we were starting. People would say, it's never going to work here in Vancouver. Don't bother, it's never going to work. That face you see when you walk to the bank and you say, can I have some money? And they look at you like, you're trying to do what? That's like, what? It's that understanding that this food, this is our heritage. This is a cuisine just like any other, and to really understand that, when you talk of something like, food and fusion and where seasoning started and who taught who, we have to remember that this food is the beginning. This is the root, right? How we spice, how we put things together. You know, this is what all cuisine is based off of. And, you know, things like that will help you to boost your passion, to boost that love, and to boost that understanding, first for yourself, and then that will allow you to disseminate it out into the world. Because, I mean, that's one thing we're all here to do, is to spread that love and to spread that joy, that passion. But in the restaurant business, it can be easily pushed down. So keep it high, and that comes from yourself. That comes from within, right? You have to keep that love, keep that passion at a high level.
Right,
yeah.
Tommy, close it out.
I appreciate it, everybody, for the opportunity. Shout out to Roger Dundas, ByBlacks, Narissa, and the crew in the BBABC. To answer your question is, what would I tell them? Eventually, you're gonna have to jump, right? So, how long you gonna sit around at family meetings and holiday parties and just talk about this dream? When are you gonna get up and do something? You got to start small. Start with $5, $10, $20, $100. Do something. You got to do something, because we just came out of a pandemic in 3 years. And let me tell you something, whether I was with you or was not with you, that dream called you in the morning when you woke up, and that dream called you at night. And it's going to continue to call you every day, very quietly, and never yell. And it'll call you until you either answer and do something about it, or you die. And it'll be waiting for you on the other side saying, why didn't you do anything about it? Life is short. Every day is a story about something. Don't regret. Just get up, do it. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I'm so happy for everybody on this shout out on this panel right now. Shout out to you, Dr. Vibe, and all that good stuff. But like, for instance, with Colin and I absolutely cheer for them. It's 5.2 million people here. There's enough of the pie for everybody to do extremely well. And it's 1% of us here, period. So I'm cheering for everybody Black. So
Yes.
y'all be smooth out here. Respect. Bless up everything, Ira.
All right, well, great way to clean it up, end it up, all that stuff. Want to say to each one of you, continued success, past, present, and future. Don't be afraid to reach out to me if you need to. And also, don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Ooh.
And remember to give yourself grace.
Yes.
Because you all are in a very hard profession. Right?
No joke.
Right? Like, we know how many non-melanated restaurants don't make it. How many melanated restaurants make it? So hard. And I would encourage you to stay in touch with each other, especially our 6-month friend. These two gentlemen underneath can help you cut.
Yeah, holla if you need some help with the sauces.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
I got a guy for you.
There's a few comments. There you go. So a few things. Roger says, I'll be in Vancouver in October, hoping to be in Edmonton again soon. Ray says, thanks, Tommy, appreciated. And Ray again says, profound. Yes, just do it. Love the way Tommy breaks down the demographics. So all of you, thank you so much for your time. Continued success, and look forward to hearing from you and hearing great reviews.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
Good night. All right. Cheers, y'all.
All right.
Cheers.
We're out.
All right,
No problem. Have a great day. And good dog, Tommy. There we go. All right. That's it. We are done. Well, first time I've done 2 of these restaurant takeovers in the same day, but excellent conversations this morning with the Toronto area restaurants. And then we had Edmonton and Vancouver. So very, very good. So let me just put this conversation down. Again, if you want to find out, it's happening next week if you're watching this live or before the 15th of May 2023. The information, you go to this website, byblacks.com/restaurant week. And what I'm going to do is go to the website. When you go to that website address, I'm going to show you what you're going to see again right here. So let's pull it up. There we go. So that's what the URL, byblacks.com/restaurant week, gives you a breakdown of all the restaurants, and there's more still joining. So they'll be adding to the list as we go on. And all the official sponsors, media sponsors, Black community associations, and tourism boards making this happen. And it's only going to get bigger. So There's one coming in the fall, but get on board now. And especially if you're a Black restaurant, go for it. Get in touch. Get in touch. So let's close it out with this. Live your life. Oh, you know what? There's a few things I want to say. I just forgot that. If you would like to promote your business or service on the Dr. Vibe Show, contact me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. If you want to contact me in general. Let me put that up. I put the wrong thing, but you can watch replays of the Morning Vibe. It says at the bottom. Here we go. The drvibeshow.com. Email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show. Twitter at drvibeshow. And Instagram at the drvibeshow. That's done. You can watch replays of these epic conversations of the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and YouTube, Afro-Caribbean Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. I think we're closing it down. Here we go. So this is how we close out. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. God bless, peace, well, keep the faith, and hope you have some spectacular eating during Restaurant Week and going forward. Not just that week, but going forward. God bless, peace, well, keep the faith, and walk good.